All right, all right. Welcome, campers. Coach Jeff here. Good to see everybody. Glad you guys could tune in today. As you guys see, we have a very special guest. What I think is really cool is this is the first time we're doing a player appearance in this type of format. So, you guys have all gotten used to Zoom and Ring Central and those types of things over the course of your school year. This time we actually get to use it to interact with an NBA player. So I think that's pretty cool. So we have campers from I believe 6 different locations: Oakley, San Ramon, Oakland, Napa, San Jose, Millbrae, and then even some virtual campers. So with that said, let's dive right in. I'd like to introduce our guest. He's from Baltimore, Maryland. He played collegiately at Drexel, then finished up at Louisville. Went undrafted in 2016, but went through the G League and made his way to the Warriors in 2018. Let's welcome Damion Lee.
What's up, baby?
All right, Dame. So let's jump right in. First question I have for you is, how has your off season been, and what have you been doing to relax and have fun?
The off season's been cool. I mean, obviously, season didn't end how we all wanted it to, from a team standpoint and from a personal standpoint. So for myself, it's just been a matter of recovering from, COVID, trying to get over that, continue to get over that, and then just spending as much time as I can with my wife and my family. Family's huge for me, so just the time that we have in the off season is amazing because we get to settle down a little bit, but knowing that once the season gets back here, everything's going to start to pick up.
Beautiful, beautiful. The next question I have for you is, I know we have a lot of young campers that are on the webinar today, and learning about themselves as athletes, learning about the game of basketball. I wanted to know, what age were you, or was there an exact moment when you fell in love with the game of basketball?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think I always loved basketball from afar because growing up, I was a football player. So I played football took really football serious from as long as I can remember until 10th grade. Stopped going into 10th grade. And I just loved football. I just loved it. But basketball was something that I always watched from afar, just seeing basically, everybody says it's like poetry in motion. And the game just goes up and down. It's so smooth. My mom was the one who really, got me into, basketball. Her favorite player of all time was Dominique Wilkins. And then my favorite player growing up was Kevin Garnett and Allen Houston. Just seeing the passion that they had, and then Allen Houston's shooting stroke, just being able to shoot the ball from anywhere. I was probably like 10, 11 when I really started liking basketball. But I didn't start taking it serious and started really playing until, say, like 15 was when I really started to focus solely on basketball.
Good stuff. Good stuff. A couple stats I wanted to throw out just for our campers. Couple things when I was kind of looking through your stats for the last couple of years. One thing I noticed, you've played over 150 NBA games. You averaged close to 9 points per game. This past season, though, you had your best shooting season. You were right around 47 from the floor, 40 from three, and 91% from the line. Those are impressive numbers. As an NBA player, those are numbers you strive for. I just want to know, was there anything different that you did this past off season heading into this year that helped you build your confidence in your shooting, that ended up reflecting those numbers?
Really just I broke down my shot a little bit, trying to see where my shot pocket was, where if I pulled it a little bit left to right, if I didn't tuck my elbow in or if my elbow was hanging out. So I really studied a lot of film on that, seeing where I can get my shot off, and having a lower release point, so then be able to get from A to B quicker than I have in previous years. And then just the consistency of reps, just trying to make sure my guide hand was straight, the consistency of shooting, a lot of catch and shoot shots, a lot of corner threes, knowing, who we have on our team and where most of my shots would come from. And then also just focusing in on my floater. Obviously not being an extremely athletic player, and having to play against all these bigger and athletic guys, but knowing where and when I can get my floater off. So really just keying in on those two parts of my game. And then I just think, just the consistency and confidence in that. And obviously playing with guys that are encouraging you to shoot continues to give you that confidence while you're out there on the floor, because you know that you've put in the work and they've also seen that you've put in the work as well.
Great stuff. Great advice for our campers. One last question for me before I turn it over to some of our coaches that are going to ask some questions on behalf of some of our campers. So the last question I have before I turn it over is in regard to one of your teammates. So, I know it's been publicized that Juan Toscano Anderson's a former camper of ours and a young man we've known since he was a young kid growing up here in Oakland. What's it been like to see Juan's jersey? You've played with him in Santa Cruz. You played with him with the bigger club, but just from a teammate's perspective, seeing Juan kind of play for his hometown team and make it to the pros, what's that been like from the courtside seat that you have?
It really just goes to show the type of person that he's been throughout his entire life and how, his mom has raised him and the people that he's come in contact with. If you ask anyone and you bring up the name Juan Toscano Anderson, he's the golden child. He is the hometown hero. Nobody has any bad thing to say about him. And that obviously goes to show what he's done on the basketball court, but more so what he's done off the court. And I think that's one thing that kind of gets lost when, people look at us as athletes. Word travels fast about who you are as a person more than what you do on the court. And for him to see the journey that he's taken playing in, all these different countries and taking the, long route to get to the NBA, but always knowing his worth and expecting this of himself, that he is an NBA player, goes to show a true testament of who he is as a person and everything he's been through. And I'm so proud of him. I call him a brother. He's one of my favorite people to be around. He never has a bad day. Whenever he's in the facility, kid's always smiling. Well, I say kid, we're the same age. He's always smiling, always enjoying life, and always embracing the moment. And you guys see that in his interviews. He has this infectious joy when he plays, and this infectious joy for his personality. Everything that he has, I feel like he's just scratching the surface. So, as long as he wants to play in this league, I feel like he is an NBA player. He's a hometown hero, and he is one of the best success stories and definitely a model for kids, not only coming from this area, but around the world, that as long as you chase your dreams, it's just a matter until, the stars align, and it's a matter of hard work It's a matter of hard work and the perfect opportunity matching up.
Being a great teammate goes a long way, and I think you and Juan are great examples of that. So thank you guys for being such great role models for our campers. Mm-hmm. With that, I am going to turn it over to, this is going to be fun for our campers, because you guys are now going to see some of your camp coaches that you work with over the course of the last 2 weeks in different locations. The first coach I'm going to turn it over to is Coach Tony, and I believe he has a question from one of our virtual campers. So I'm going to hop off the screen, and Coach Tony's going to hop on.
Hey, Damian, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I know some of our virtual campers were looking for Ben. Ben's a little under the weather today, so I'm going to take over for him. Just wanted to shout out like 3 of the campers that we had. Herschel, I know it's supposed to be on here. Ibrahim, hopefully he's watching. And then Derek. Derek's out there too. Those are longtime virtual campers. But the question comes from Luke Longoria. Luke Longoria would like to know if you have some drills that he could work on his shooting and get his shot better.
Yeah. So the drill that I did, whether it was last summer or just the consistency of just building up reps, I would say you start basically around the charge circle. And, you bend your knees a little bit, you have the ball in your shooting pocket, and do form shots. Do 100 form shots a day. Well, start your workout with 100 form shots. So 5 spots, 20 shots, and hold your follow through from when you shoot it until you make it, and then the ball bounces. So that's just exaggerating the fact of when you get in the game, there's some things that you can adjust, whether the ball comes high, the ball comes low, but the most consistent part of your shot is going to be from when you get up through your release and hold your follow through. That's something that's helped me a ton. And, I even have some teammates, friends that have, asked similar questions. And that's probably, I'd say, the biggest thing in continuing to improve your shot. Nobody's shot's perfect, and there's no two shots that are exactly the same. So just as long as you have that consistency in those reps and continue to hold your follow through throughout, then once you get further and further out, the shots should translate easier.
I appreciate that, and appreciate you coming on today. And hey, good luck with the baby coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It'll be a good new adventure for you. I am passing it over to Coach Vian. Coach Vian.
Thanks, Tony. Damian, what's up, my man? How are you?
Good. How are you doing, V?
I'm doing great. Thanks for hopping on. I've got some kids from Session 1 from Pine Valley Middle School in San Ramon. Want to shout out some of my favorite kids out there. We got Raphael, Aiden, Joshua. Everyone out there had a great week of camp. This question is coming from Ava Padilla. She was actually our Rakuten Camper of the Week. So she had a great question. She said, how do you always stay ready to play, especially last season with the role changing from night to night with different rotations?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like that's all just a mindset. Just knowing that your number is going to be called eventually. Whether, you're coming in the end of the first quarter, early second, maybe even sometimes you don't play in the first half. But just having that mental fortitude to know that when you go in the game, there's going to be one thing that you're going to do that's going to either muck up the game a little bit, or, you can go in and have an immediate impact, whether that's picking up full court, coming in, obviously starting on defense. The easiest way to get involved into the game is to have the defensive impact, because then the offensive impact will come secondhand. And I think for me, it's just a matter of whenever I go through my workouts, I envision myself, whether it's coming off the bench, and whenever I don't start, it's just seeing the game and just studying the game, seeing tendencies of where I can attack, where I can score, and where I can just try to help us be successful.
Love it. Stay ready, so you got to get ready.
Talk about it.
All right, thanks, Sam. I'm going to have another question for you later on, but in the meantime, I'm kicking it over to Coach Jose. Thank you.
Yes.
D. Lee, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
I have a question from some of our campers out in Freedom, way out in the East Bay. Shout out to Ryan Jackson. We have a question from Jeremiah Span, and he wanted to know, what do you enjoy most about playing for the Warriors, and if you can elaborate as to why?
I think I just love the fan base. I mean, the Warriors fan base obviously has been one of the most loyal. You can date back to the Run TMC, We Believe days, just seeing how loyal the fans are, and obviously having the recent success of the last, 5-6 years. But the fan base here is amazing. When I first came out here and was even in Santa Cruz and on a 2-way deal, people were recognizing me and saying what's up, and it was literally just all love. So I think that's probably one of the best parts about being out here and playing for the Warriors, but also just the involvement of off the court activities, whether maybe golf, whether maybe tech. Obviously Silicon Valley is not too far, so just trying to find endeavors that you can do and things that you can try to gain when you're not playing, because at the end of the day, the ball is going to stop bouncing one day, and it's just a matter of the connections that you've made while you played, so that you can enjoy life and have more of a smooth sailing send-off when your career is done.
Indeed. Well, man, as part of that fan base, I just want to thank you and obviously the team for giving us so much to cheer about. And we look forward to even more to cheer about in the near future. I'm actually going to pass it back to Coach V. I know she has some more questions for you.
All righty. So this is from Session 3. We were at the facility in Oakland, so just want to shout out a few players from there, Gemma, Anthony M, Mia. But this question comes from Axel Hawkins. A little bit of a superhero vibe here, so it's a two-parter. Who is your biggest inspiration in basketball, and who is your greatest nemesis?
Ooh.
Fun one.
Superhero as in someone that plays, or
Up to you. Any biggest inspiration in basketball? Who is that?
For sure. Someone who played. Oh, sorry, my wife's in the background.
Up to you.
Someone who played. Two people. Say Allen Houston is one. I think he like I said earlier, he was one of my favorite players ever played the game. Similar size, similar build. I actually got to meet him when I went to school in Louisville for that year, and we built a great relationship, great friendship. He's someone that I know that I can always call and talk to. And then, ironically, another person is Seth Curry. Similar journey of being undrafted, fighting injuries, having to fight for a name for yourself. Have sort of, a similar path in that regards, but having, continue to fight every single day, and just know that you belong and continue to show out there and show and prove. He's, someone that is definitely a role model for me, someone that I continue to look up to, and I'm so happy for and everything that he's done in his journey. And then I'd say, as corny as it may sound, my greatest nemesis in basketball is time.
Okay.
And that may just come in the season, whether, we just don't have enough time, whether we're on the road. Like I'm a real big routine guy. So like if I want to get something done, like I'm getting to the gym an hour beforehand, doing all my stuff and then getting ready, getting prepped and getting ready to go. But sometimes when we're in season, there's so many things that are being thrown at us or whether it's traffic, you get in late, there's like a lot of things that, you can't control. So I'd say the greatest nemesis is time, but always trying to make time because at the end of the day, this is our job. And, I want to be in this league as long as possible.
For sure. I love that. Thanks so much, Damon. I'm done here, but I'm going to kick it over to Coach Haley. Thank you.
That was probably one of my favorite moments playing basketball, just being out there, staying aggressive, and just being ready for that moment. That was actually my first game-winning shot as a professional. I think I've had a couple, in college, but when you're at the highest level and, obviously the play was designed for whether it was Steph, Wiggins, and then, it was just time. And I told Kevon Looney right before the play, I was like, hey, if everything breaks down and I give you that look, let's go, two-man game. And it's obviously Loon and I have had a two-man game over the past couple of years from when we've been out there and played, but just being ready for that moment. And as soon as I got the ball, I was pretty confident that it was going to go in. And just thankful that it did. But that was one of the best plays. I can still picture that whole 5-6 seconds if I close my eyes and just picture that whole moment.
Yeah, definitely. I remember that. It was a crazy shot. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thank you again. And I'm going to pass it on to Coach Lynn.
Dame, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Oh, man. How you doing, baby?
Man, I can't complain, man. Trying to be like you and I grew up. That's all. All right, so I got some questions from our camp at Session 5 at Hoover. I want to shout out Wyatt, Giovanni, and Gautam. Our question is from Quinn Garcia, and his question is, what's the best advice you have for a young player trying to stay conditioned in the offseason?
I think the best advice would be don't get out of shape. The hardest thing to do is to get back in shape. Even, obviously knowing your body or trying to learn your body. So, when the season ends, let's say the season ends, for us it was May, probably taking a week, maybe 2 weeks off. But while you're in those 2 weeks, still doing liftings, still trying a different activity rather than just being on the basketball court. So when you get back out there, then that transition will be easier. I would say lifting, obviously age appropriate. When you can, say try to lift maybe every other day. I think that's probably been the biggest misconception, is that people think when you lift, you're always going to put on weight and you're going to get stronger. But you can do circuit workouts, you can change up the workouts. But those are things that are going to help you, get in shape from when you end the season to the new season, help you stay in shape, and then help you be able to play longer while you're in the midst of the season. And making time to lift is probably the best part, is the best thing that you can do for your body.
Appreciate that, man. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Coach Bree. Have a good one, big dog.
Yes, sir, bro.
What's up, Damian? Last question from a camper. I'm actually currently at Mills High School in Millbrae. Just wanted to shout out Merrick, Joey M, and Madison. We're still going through this week, but they've been working hard, so keep bringing that energy, guys. Speaking of the off season, Riley, you wanted to know, if not one, but what specific skills are you focused on improving this off season?
I think I'm just focused on continued improvement with my 3-point shot. I want to prove, this is the second year of my 4 years that I've shot, 40% or close to it. So just that continued showing that I can shoot the basketball, whether it's on the move, and just sorry, one of my dogs is trying to play.
Oh, good.
But just showing that continued improvement and that continued steadiness of, my 3-point shot. 3-point shooting is at a premium in the NBA. And just trying to, continue to show that. I feel like, 40% means that you're an elite shooter. So just trying to hit, that 40% mark again next year while I go into free agency would be great for, myself and my career.
Solid. The kids nowadays, they love shooting, so they probably love to have heard that. All right. Thanks for that. Kids were super excited to see you. So that was the last question from the campers. So I'm going to kick it back off to Jeff.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you, coaches. Great to see you guys all on screen. And those are some great questions from our campers. So I'm going to finish us off with a little rapid fire questioning. I have about 10 questions, and most of these questions just require like a 1 or 2 word answer, maybe a short phrase or so, but it should help us get to know Damian a little bit better. So we're going to start with an easy one. So first rapid fire question, favorite sport other than basketball?
Golf.
All right. Next one, favorite NBA city to visit?
Atlanta.
Next, favorite type of pet?
Dogs.
All right. Pair of shoes you were the most excited to get when you were a kid?
The Cherry Jordan 10s.
I like it. All right. Favorite video game?
Warzone or Fortnite.
Favorite app on your phone?
TikTok.
Favorite meal of the day?
Breakfast.
All right. I know you try to eat well and make healthy choices, but when you have a cheat day, what are you eating?
Some wings, fries, a milkshake, and cookies, or like cinnamon rolls or something.
All right. Notice, campers, I said that's the cheat day. On the other days, he's eating.
That is a super cheat day. Normally, it's locked in.
All right. Next one. Who is your funniest teammate?
Funniest teammate. I'm trying to think of the locker room. Probably got to be Clay.
That's the usual answer we get from
Clay.
Any members of the team. All right. That was 9 questions. Here's number 10. Last one. If you were not a professional basketball player, what would you be?
If I was not a professional basketball player, I know this is not rapid fire. workout person, player development.
I like it. I like it. All right, that was pretty easy. No question was too tough in there. And we're just about getting towards the end of this. So, Damian, I just wanted to ask you, we have campers from all over the Bay Area, even some of our virtual campers from all over the country. So just some words of wisdom you might give them, knowing that they're in, different stages of their development as players. What are some things that they should stay in tune with and be cognizant of as they go through their basketball journey? And what are some things that they should, kind of put front and center in terms of their thought process?
You're all here in this camp and trying to learn and trying to grow. First and foremost, it's the relationships that you build and who you are as a person. That travels way further, way longer than when your athletic career is ever going to take you. I was taught in 11th grade that the number one thing in business is not about how much money you make. It's not about, the investments. It is relationships. The relationships that you have will open doors that you have not seen before. So I would say first and foremost, treat everyone the exact same, and treat everyone with respect. And then when it comes down to, basketball and the athletic side, don't cheat yourself. Do not sell yourself short. There's so many things that you can accomplish just by putting in the work. They say that there's that saying that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I feel like I'm a walking testament of that. I've started the game late, but never cheated the game. Always took it serious and knew that when it was time, that something would happen for me. I always say this, if people would have told me when I was 16, 17 years old that I'd be playing in the NBA, I really wouldn't believe them, just because I knew I had the lofty goal and the lofty dream, but I just knew I wanted to play basketball professionally. I didn't know if it was going to be in the NBA. I thought it was most likely going to be overseas. But just the hard work, just staying down and focusing on my craft and having to sacrifice, some of my friends in college and all this stuff will want to go out and hang out and party. But I knew that I had goals and I had dreams, and I was willing to sacrifice for those dreams because there were people before me, like my mom, and I'm pretty sure that your family members as well, who have sacrificed things for you to be in the position that you're in now. Don't ever take that stuff for granted. Chasing your dream, whether it's getting, a full ride, free scholarship, academic, athletic, whatever it is that you want to do, chase your dream. You can do anything that you put your mind to by believing, obviously staying healthy and just working hard. I still feel like I'm a walking testament of that. I don't ever take any of this for granted. I don't ever take walking into the locker room and seeing the sign that says NBA, because I know what it took to get here, and I know what my mom sacrificed, what my family members, what my wife, what everyone has sacrificed for me to get to where I am, and knowing that gives me even more motivation and more drive to continue to chase my dream when I have my down days.
That is an unbelievable perspective. Thank you for sharing that. And I just want to say I can't wait until we have player appearances again where we actually can see you on the court at camps, talking to the kids. You always give such great advice, share such great wisdom with our campers. It's always much appreciated. Thank you for being so generous with your time. For all the campers that were with us today, I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We definitely got some great information from Damian. We got to know him a whole lot better. I want you guys to continue to work throughout this summer, similar to what Damian's already said. You guys are coming to another camp later this summer. We can't wait to see you. If not, we'll see you guys in the winter or the spring, but keep working hard, not only at basketball, but in the classroom as well, because it takes both sides to be successful. So thanks for everything, all the campers, and thank you, Damion Lee. We're done for the evening, so we'll see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you all. You guys be safe out there. Work hard. I'll see you soon.